Hello everybody, I'm Doug. Welcome to the Auditory Vinyl. So this video is just about the fonts that bands and artists use and their logo. I just think it's kind of cool, the ones that have used the same one throughout all their albums. And I think it's kind of weird, some of them that they used it for so many albums and then all of a sudden they were just like, well, I guess we're sick of it, and they changed it or moved on or whatever. But so I was just going to show some of the ones that I thought were interesting. This isn't a thread. I'm sure everybody's kind of burned out on them. There's just been so many threads lately. But if you want to make a video similar to this, that's cool. Or just put in the comments some bands that you have noticed or whatever that use the same theme or logo or the font for their name throughout the years. So I got a huge stack, but I'm not going to talk a lot about each record. I'll just kind of show. So one of the first ones, Def Leppard, they use the same, even though this is in a triangle, but it's the same font, and they've used it throughout. And I Googled it to check, and there is an album that they did later on, but I don't know if it's a bootleg or what, but it's like a maroon color, and I think it's Def Leppard Slave, something like that, but they didn't use the font that one time. There's a lot of bands that for compilation or live albums, for whatever reason, they don't use the same font. Yes, they used kind of the same, fat, yes, bubbly lettering for many years, and then for whatever reason they did this, and it's just not as cool. AC/DC, that's probably one that a lot of you thought of right off the bat. But their first two albums, they didn't really go with their traditional, like this is what they ended up going with for, well, all the way till recently. That's all they use now. I guess they were just trying to find the right thing, and then they found that one, and now it's probably one of the most iconic band names as far as their font, or just the familiarity of when you see it, you know exactly what it is. Oh, there's another one, but yeah, that same font. Rat, they use the same one throughout all of their albums. Pure Prairie League. These guys, all their first albums, they kind of had this Norman Rockwell cowboy looking dude throughout all their stuff. And then this one album, the font is still the same on their name, but then they I guess they squeezed in a little bit of the cowboy, but totally different cover. But then after that, they went back to the old cowboy look. So it's just kind of interesting, wondering what their thought process was. Another one that probably everybody thinks of right away is Chicago. They've used that same font through all their albums. There's was it like Chicago number ones or something like that, a compilation where they didn't use it, their signature look, for whatever reason. Ozzy, he used his same name, logo, font, whatever you want to call it. It's a little bit different on the Tribute to Randy Rhoads album, but You know, like I said, they all kind of changed it up on their greatest hits or best ofs and lives for whatever reason. Next, AC/DC. This is probably one of the most iconic band name fonts that you see just everywhere. They did make one. It's not Slave to the Grind. What the hell's the name of that one? It's got the Sphinx on the front. I'm sure y'all know which one I'm talking about. But that one doesn't have the logo right on the cover, I don't think. But I think it's on the back or somewhere. But for whatever reason, it's not on the front. Not that I can remember anyway. Gamma, Ronnie Montrose's band. He's the same. Put it in the same exact spot with 1, 2, 3. There is a fourth one. It's not out on vinyl, but it does the same thing. So he kept his. Of course, it's a little easier when you only got 3 or 4 records to do it in, but Foreigner, another one. Same font, same look. Pretty cool. Now, I don't know with their most recent one that they put out with their new singer, if they kept it. I think they did, but I'm not positive. Fastway, another one. Maybe a different color and a different thing, but still the same font. In Boston, there's the whole thing is, you know, it takes off from Earth in their guitar spaceship, then they land on some foreign planet, and then they're taking off again, going in outer space somewhere. So that's it. I'd be interested to see, you know, in your comments, or if you want to make a video, some of the other ones that you've seen, or just any comments about them would be interesting. Couple other ones. Journey, a lot of people might think that one, but their first two was different than their whole kind of like Boston, it was a beetle, you know, and it goes evolution, departure, and all those. And then I think after Steve Perry left, they did one or two that was a little different, but now they put out a new one recently, and I think they went back to the Beetle spaceship type thing or whatever it is. Aerosmith, they did like a couple with that like script word, and then there was a couple with the Wings, that logo, but like Night in the Ruts is completely different, so they didn't stick with the same one either throughout theirs. But there's a lot of bands out there for like their first 3 or 4, they did a certain font, and then they're like, all right, enough of this, let's do something different. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting, and I'd be interested in seeing some of your thoughts and comments on ones that you like or whatever, anything. Take care. Enjoy the music.